Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. So today in this particular project, we are going to make out a voice recorder. So that particular voice recorder, we are going to make out a GUI1, that's the graphical user interface. So for that, we'll be using out some special libraries and all those things in the way. Before that, I have a very exciting announcement to do out here that I have launched out one of my new YouTube channels, and the name for that channel is Shambhavi Gupta itself. That's from my name only. So that complete channel covers about the tours and travels for India, the traveling and different vlogs. We have interviews, we have Q&A. So these are all the fun entertainment things that are completely covered onto that channel. So that complete channel has been launched, and the first video for that channel is coming on 4th of October at 5 p.m. in the evening. So make sure you subscribe out the channel. So the link for the same is mentioned in the description box. Subscribe out that channel, enjoy the videos, and with all of these things, do not forget to press out the bell icon so as to get out the latest updates. Right? So yeah, this announcement has been finished from my side for now. And now let's come back to our Python project that we are going to cover. So as I told you that we are going to make out a voice recorder. Right now, that is a GUI one. So by the time you all must have guessed out that if it's a GUI, so it must be used or made with the tkinter library. And yes, that's right. We will be using out the tkinter library in special to make out this voice recorder. Next, basically, we'll be using out some sound recorders, some sound voice, some other libraries as well from the Python, which basically helps us to like make out the voice recorder. So we have some libraries into the Python programming language. Okay, so I'll be using all of them throughout this particular project. So let's get started out. Okay, so the very first thing that I'm going to do here is that I'm going to install out all the relevant libraries that we'll be needing into this particular project, right? So let me just, yeah. So here we have terminal. By the way, the IDE which I'm using is that's PyCharm. Okay, so if you're not aware of that, I would let you know the IDE which I permanently use is PyCharm. So, okay, I will just write out here the command that's pip install. The very first one is SciPy, SCIPY. Okay, the very first library that I just wanted to install is SciPy. So actually for me it's already installed. So for me it's more just gonna show me out requirement already satisfied. But for you, if this particular library is not at all installed, so it will install out the things for you. Okay, great. Now, okay, this one has been like completed up. Next library that we're gonna install is I would just write out pip install, and that is wavio. Okay, another one. Now the reason why I'm storing this or installing this out onto my device is that whatever the recordings we're gonna do, so that particular recording I'm gonna save it in that .wav file, and that particular thing I'm allowed to do with the help of this wavio library. Okay, and one new one opened out here. The next one which I'm going to install is pip install, and that's sound device. Yes, pip install sound device, right? So basically this will, okay, actually I just put on that slash. So let me open out a one new. So it's pip install. Okay, that is install, and my library name was sound device, right? This was the one. Great. Now this one will basically help me to catch up the voice. Let's say I'm just using out my laptop's microphone, or I'm using any other mic service. So in that case, basically allow me to choose out the sound device as well. So whatever sound device I'm using out, I could just like speak onto that only, and with the help of that only it would be recorded out, right? Okay, so hope you got out the clear idea regarding the libraries. First of all, that we have installed, that what are these used for and why are we installing that, right? Now let's quickly move towards and import out all the libraries which are needed while making out this particular project. Okay, so I'm going to write out here that from tkinter. From tkinter import asterisk, the very first library. Okay, from tkinter import out the asterisk. Next, Next goes here that from tkinter import message box. Okay, that's double S right here. Great. So message box is one another function which I just wanted to import out from the tkinter library. Okay. Next comes up here that I'm going to import out here sound device. That's DIDEVICE like this. Now I'm going to give out a short form to the sound device library as well, and I'm going to give it as sound. Okay, great. Next I'm going to write out here that from skypi.io.wav file import, and here goes a function that's right. Okay. Next, I'm going to import out the time as well here, and the last one I'm going to import out here, import wavio as wv. Clear. So, these are all of the libraries which I'm going to use out here in this particular project. Okay. Now, I'm just going to make out the window for my tkinter window. I'm just going to give out some specifications onto this. Okay, so let's get started up here. I would just write out here, let's say my variable as window is equal to, and we make out the window like this, right? So this capital T and small k. This denotes out that I'm making out a tkinter window. Okay, window is equal to tk. Now next here we have root dot, and here goes the geometry, root dot geometry like this. Okay, and we do not have root, sorry. Instead of that we have window. And here goes the geometry, okay, into the bracket. Now I just want to put out, let's say 600 cross let's say 700 plus 400, let's say plus 80, and let me make out some changes here. Let's say that is 610, that's 710, it's 410, and it's 90 here. Great. Yeah, so these are the dimensions which I had put on for my tkinter window, which is gonna appear out. Okay. Next I just want to set out here some title as well. So let's say that's window. So it's window dot title, and in the bracket I have my title. Let's say that's again that's my own voice recorder. Okay, that is VOIC, my own voice recorder, like this. Okay, great. And I'm going to write out here as window dot configure. I'm going to set out a background color as well. So window dot configure, into the bracket I'm going to put out here as background is equal to, and let's say my background color is yellow. Okay, let that be not yellow, let that be a light green. Okay, let me come down. Great. And at last I'm simply going to write out here as window dot main loop and put on the brackets like this. Now let's run it out. So here click on the run option. Yes, so this is my window that's appearing to me. The color has been set out, the dimension is also set out, and here it's written my own voice recorder as a title for this particular window. Right, hope it's very much okay with you. So let me close this out. Now, after this we have many different things to define out. So I'm going to define out all those 4 things first of all. Okay, so I just want to have one background picture as well to put onto this. So the very first thing I'm going to do is that I'm gonna put on that particular picture. Okay, so okay, great. Let me just write out here as variable icon underscore img. Okay, and into that I'm gonna use out the function that's photo image into the bracket. Now what's my file name, what's the name of my photo, what's the name of that file which I had put on for the pic. So that name which I had put on is record.png. Now make sure that here you use out the png file extension if you're going to use out the jpeg. So in that case you need to use out many other things as well, like those are pil libraries, and all these things are required in that case. Okay, so I'm just simply using out the png format image here. right? Okay, next comes here as window dot, and here I have icon photo, and into the bracket first of all I just want to pass on here as false, and next I'm going to put on here the variable which I had recently made out, that's icon underscore img. Okay, great. Now let's come on to the new line, and here it goes as photo is equal to, okay, not photo, it would be img is equal to, and again I'm going to use out that photo image. Into the bracket it would be file is equal to, and the name is record.png. Come down, let me get out some space right here. Okay, after this I have one variable, that's image. Okay, let's start my underscore image, image, like this. Okay, and into this I'm going to put on a label function that will help me to put on something onto the like that tkinter window which is already made by us. So inside that I'm going to take on first of the variable start image. Okay, and into that I'm going to put out the variable onto which I had loaded out my file, that's my image, so that img variable for me. Okay, putting out a comma, and after that we have background as well, so I'll just write out here back, grou, okay, that's g, like this. Okay, so background is equal to, now what background you want to give, I just want to give out that, keep out the same background for everything, so that's light green. Okay, right, let's come on to the new line, and here I'm going to use out the pack function, so that's my underscore image dot pack. Into bracket I have the padx values, so padx values is 5, and what about the paty, so that's again 5. Hope you are very much clear with this particular thing. Fine, this is all done. Now after this I just wanted to write down one thing onto the like that tkinter window. That's the heading is voice recorder. I just want to put on a heading type there, and the name for that particular will be as a voice recorder. So for that simply I'm using out a label function. So label, okay, L would be capital, not small. So yes, inter bracket I have first of all what text I want to put on. So the text which I want to put on is voice recorder. So voice recorder. Putting out a comma, what are the font specifications? So putting on the bracket, defining inside that, first of all I just want that to be into the Arial, the size will be 32, and yes, that will be in the bold as well. Okay, putting out a comma, I just want to use out that background, background is equal to, and here what's the color, that's light green. Okay, that's green like this. Okay, putting out a comma, what about the fg? So fg could be black, right? Okay, putting out the dot and using out the pack function. Now the specifications for the padx and the paty values are not at all required here. Okay, so let's come down. Fine. After this, I will be making out one of the entry box, and okay, the idea is that inside that entry box, I will be putting on that for how much time I just want to record out the voice. So let's say I just mention on 20, 30, 40, whatever the seconds I mentioned out, it will be taking out that much number of seconds only. Okay, it will show you that this much time is left, this much time is left, this much time is left, and after your like time is finished up, it will give you a pop-up message box. Okay, this is the idea. So for that I'm making out a variable that's time underscore dur. Okay, and I'm going to use out first of all here the that specification, that's string var. Okay, next again coming down, so I will just write out here time underscore entry, my variable name, using out here the entry function that will help us to make out an entry box, writing out window. Now what's the text variable we are having? Text variable means that what kind of text you are gonna give. One second, text variable is equal to, so that particular I have saved in the variable, that is time underscore dur. That's the reason I have just written that. Okay, what about the font? So my font will be first of all Arial, then the size would be, let's say 32. Okay, now 32. and putting out a comma, and yes, that will be in the bold. Right, finished up. Okay. Now, after that is completed, after that I would be putting up a comma here, and that as it is an entry box, it must have the width as well. So my width will be 15. Dot. We have pack here, and inside this I have PATY, and let's say that value is 10. Okay, 10. Okay, yes, completed. Coming to the new line. Now, I'll be using out one of the label functions as well. Label into the bracket, I'll be writing out the text. Now, what's the text that I want to put on here? So it's enter the time in seconds. Like this, okay? Right. Come to the new line. Back. Put a comma. And what font about? Same again font I just want to give out here. Let's say put on the bracket, and here we have Arial. Let's say size is 17. And let's say that's bold as well. Okay, removing out this particular colon, right? Okay. Okay, after this, put out one of the commas. And now next we have the background colors. So, okay, outside the bracket, not inside. Putting out a comma and using out here as background is equal to. And what's the background color? So that's the light green. So light green. Okay. Okay, after that, putting out a comma and using out the FG color. So that's the black for me. Okay, writing BLACK, correct spelling. Okay, fine. After black, that is finished up. Now next, what do I have? And another thing here, and that completely is that I just need to put on the pack function. So dot and use here the pack like this. Great, come down. Now I have one last thing, that's a button to be made out. That will be a record button for me. So variable is record underscore BT. That's equal to. Now here we have button. In the bracket I have the variable, first of all that's window, comma, what about the font? For font in this case, so equal to, putting on the font. So font is, let's say, Arial, size is, let's say 22, and that's in bold. Okay, putting out a comma here. What's the text you want to give on here? So my text would be that record. Fine, putting out once again a comma, giving the background color. So BG is equal to, let's say, and that's, let's say, light green only. Light green, right? Now putting out a comma, what about the FG color? So FG color is black for me. Putting out a comma here, mentioning out the border width. So let's say the border width is 0 here, putting out a comma. We have a function that's command. So command, I'll be making out the function that will be fun underscore rec, my function name. I'll be making that in a while. Dot using out here the pack function. Okay. Right, this all is sorted. Fun underscore rec, my function that I'll be making above. So let's go above and make on that particular function which I was telling about, right? So let's make that out. So I'll be making that down here. Def, and that is fun underscore rec, right? This is only the function name which we are having out here. Right, now what are the things that will be defining up here? So we'll be defining up some several things that will be helping us for recording out the audio voice. That's okay. So FREQ, that's the frequency, okay, is equal to. So I'm going to put on one value here, that's 44100. Okay, what's the duration? So that's time underscore dur, that's equal to int of duration dot get. Okay, instead of duration we had made on the variable that was time underscore dur, and here I would simply make on the variable that's dur. Okay, right, now coming to the new line, here I'll be using on a variable, let's say that's recording recording is equal to, and it will be coming as sounder which we have imported above, dot rec function is basically for recording. So how to do that is duration multiplied by FREQ. Okay, duration multiplied by the frequency coming above. And putting out a comma using here sample rate is equal to, and that's the frequency which we have mentioned above, right? And what about the channels? Channels is one of the another parameter which we are having. So I just mentioned that as 2 here. After this comes about my try function. So try, and I'll be using out temp is it. Okay. That's my underscore temp, a simple variable. Okay. And I'll be taking that into a duration dot get. So that is okay, that is time underscore dir dot get. Above only we have written out this particular thing, right? Next, coming on to the new line, here I have the except function. So here goes the except. Coming to the new line, I'm printing out one of the like print statements that do print the correct value statement. Okay, do print the correct value. Coming to the next line, and here applying out one of the condition, that's my while loop. So while my underscore temp is greater than 0. Okay, so in that case, basically what to do in that case, window dot update. Use out the window dot update function and write out here that time dot sleep, and in the bracket set out that time sleep as, let's say, 2. Okay, and from here you write temp minus temp is equal to minus temp minus 1. Okay, fine. This much of the things have been sorted. Now after this we have some more like conditions to put up here. So let's quickly do out that particular thing as well. So now I'll be putting on the different more conditions. So yeah, if temp is okay, this one has been sorted. Now next comes out the condition that if the temp is equal to 0. Okay, temp the way, sorry, not that temp, it's my underscore temp. So 1 second. My underscore here as well, it goes as my underscore temp, and here as well it goes my underscore temp. I'm sorry. Okay, so yeah, let's come down here and put on the condition if this is the reason, if this is the case. So in that case, message box dot show info, message box dot show info into the bracket, coming down first of all. Yeah, and here I could just write out here one statement that is time countdown here. One statement like this. Okay, putting out a comma here, and next statement would be my time is up. Okay, so yeah, let me just make on this first here as capital first of all. So time is up. Fine, let's come to the new line here, and after, like, before moving the position, 1 second. So here goes the cursor and write your label. So I'm going to define out one of the label statements here as well again. So label, and into that what will it take? So text is equal to, I'll be using out the f string, and here the text comes to be str of my underscore temp. Okay, and yes, f string is completed. After this we have the next parameter, that's font. So what font you want to put on here? So that's Arial, and let's say size is 40. Okay, putting out a comma. What about the width? So width, let's say width is, let's say wi width is equal to, let's say, 4. And putting out a comma again here. What about the background? So background, that would be same, only that's light green. Putting out after it's coming out and using out the place function here, place, and in the bracket we have, let's say, x and y values. So let's say x value is 240, and let's say, okay, let's say x value is 250, comma, let's say y value is 600. So these are the dimensions as well which we have put on. Come out of the, okay, 1 second, come out of the if conditions, that while condition, and write out here that it's sound dot wait. Okay, put out the bracket and come down again, and use out here one write function. So inside that I'll be putting on a one of the file names that will be in the WAV format. So automatically that file will be made out. So okay, my file name will be record.wav. No, it's record.wav. Okay, putting out a comma here. And what about the frequency? So frequency FREQ variable only, and we have the variable that's recording, right? So yeah, recording we have where? Yeah, this we have already have. One second, let me go back now. So yeah, now my complete program has been completed. It's the time for running out the program. So click on the right button and run out the program here. So yeah, let's see that what it's gonna give out. It's giving an error. Great, no error. And here we come up with our voice recorder. So this is my image which I had put on. My background color that's light green, and my entry box to enter out the time. Let's I just mentioned up here. Let's say 15 seconds. And okay, click on the record button. So see here at the downside, it's showing me the record time as well, right? Now this is actually let's compare it according to 1 second, not the notification one. So let's compare it accordingly. So yes, that's working, right? Yes, it's working right? 1 second, come back here. Yeah, so it has been basically it has been made 3, 2, and then it's 1, and at last let's see. Okay, time is up. Okay, so it showed me that time is up. I would click on okay, and it showed me 0. Now here one changement we can actually make up, and that's the way I have somewhere used out that time dot sleep or something like that. Yeah, so instead of this I could simply use out here one, so it will basically go accordingly. Okay, now here I have my file name, that is record.wav file, which I just told you that it would be made out at this particular place. Let me run out this here for a while once again. So click on run record, and I would just really simply put out some simple time here so as to just show you that that thing particular has been updated. Now it is moving faster than the previous one because I had set it to time dot sleep 1. So I just want the time to go in one single seconds only, and that's the reason it is coming up like that, right? So hope you got out the idea that how you can make out a voice recorder of your own and how you could just use that accordingly, right? So hope you enjoyed out this project. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.